وشاورهم في الأمر فإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله إن الله يحب المتوكلين. Same part of ayah 159, last part. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to further console the Sahaba. You should not only forgive them and seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from them, but also seek counsel from them in the matters, so that it becomes even more a source of consolation for them. Shawirhum or mashwara or consultation has a huge part in our deen. So first of all, there's a few things that we should understand. Shawirhum fil amr. What is amr? Amr is basically any matter, and at some places in the Quran it is amr is used for matters of government. Ulil amri minkum, the people of rule, the people who have control. And sometimes it is used for the ultimate control, which belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ala lahul khalqu wal amr, that it is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that all khalq and all amr belongs. So whenever somebody is dealing with any affair, any matter, it is preferable that they seek counsel from people. In matters in which there can be a difference of opinion, that there can be two opinions, it is a sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. At several places in history we see that the Prophet ﷺ has sought counsel from the Sahaba and then acted upon it. Now there's a few things that should be understood. In matters that do not pertain to the general public, it is not obligatory or compulsory to take counsel, but it is preferable. So if something that pertains to you, that does not affect others, it is preferable to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ to seek counsel, but it is not required. In matters that can affect others and in which there can be two different opinions, it is wajib or compulsory to take counsel. The Prophet ﷺ has said that when somebody seeks counsel and then does something after having made counsel, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides them to the right path. And the Prophet ﷺ, there's another famous hadith that you must have heard. The Prophet ﷺ said that when three things are there, the top of the surface of the earth is better for you than the stomach of the earth, or the grave, basically. When your best people or the better ones among you are your rulers, when your rich are willing to spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when your affairs are decided through counsel. These three things. In comparison, when three things happen, then the stomach of the earth or the inside of the earth or your grave becomes better for you than the surface of the earth. When the worst people among you become your rulers, when your rich do not want to spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and your affairs, rather than being decided after counsel among you, they are deputed over to women. The meaning of this is that only to seek the pleasure of women, the pleasure of your woman, you depute over everything to that woman and do not seek counsel with others. It does not mean that counsel should not be sought from women. In the life of the Prophet ﷺ, there's multiple places, there's multiple points where the Prophet ﷺ has sought counsel from his azwaj, from his wives. In fact, in the Quran, it is written here in Tafsir that we have read it in Surah Baqarah, I think, where it was taught about feeding the babies, the nursing children, the nursing babies. There should be mashwara among man and wife, and if they decided with counsel, then they can decide to give up nursing. So the other thing that should be noted is that number one, we have read that what is the importance of mashwara, in what ways, in what manners it is required to do a mashwara. Mashwara can be made from women and men. Now, who is capable of giving mashwara? And this is also learned from hadith. That in the Prophet ﷺ has said, Ali radiallahu anhu, if I remember correct, asked the Prophet ﷺ that what should we do if we run into a matter of deen in which there is no clear ayat of the Quran, no clear verse of the Quran, nor is there a clear saying from you. Rasulullah said that you should gather your fuqaha, the people who have good, sound understanding of deen, and those people who are pious, worshipping people. So those fuqaha who are worshipping, we should gather them and go according to their decision. This is the hadith of Rasulullah. So from this hadith we learn that in any matter, the first quality is that when we are seeking counsel from someone, that person should be pious. That person should be Allah-fearing, God-fearing, muttaqi person. In any manner, the muttaqi person should be sought counsel from. But there is another quality. Not each and every muttaqi can be sought counsel from in every manner. The other thing is that that person should have an understanding of the matter. So if somebody is muttaqi, but he has no understanding of how the world works, then you will not seek counsel from them about your profession, for example, right? But in matters of deen, the same rule applies, that that person should, number one, be muttaqi, Allah-fearing, pious, worshipping, and he should have a very good understanding of deen. So in matters of deen, who should we seek counsel from? Somebody who is muttaqi, pious, and also has good understanding of deen. In matters of this dunya, we should seek counsel from somebody who is muttaqi, who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is worshipping, and has an understanding of the matter. So these are a few things that we should understand about mashwara. The other thing is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ, after you have made counsel, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ, not فَإِذَا عَزَمْتُمْ. Azamtum would have meant that when all of you have decided something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, when is addressing the Prophet فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ, after you have seeken counsel, when you decide something, when you have resolved upon something. This means that the person who is seeking counsel is not obligated to follow the mashwara that is given to them. They should seek mashwara. The person who is giving mashwara should put the best interest of the person seeking the mashwara in front, at heart, and give the mashwara. But still, the person who has sought the guidance, even after having fulfilled all these requirements, is not required to act upon that mashwara. So, somebody who is giving the mashwara, somebody who is giving the counsel, should not expect that when I have given this mashwara, they will accept my mashwara, right? If they don't want to accept that mashwara, it is upon them, they are fully permitted to do that. فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ, the other thing that is noted here is that sometimes it happens, especially in the matters of government, counsel should be sought, of course, because the matters of government generally affect not only you, but the whole community or the whole group of people who are under your government. But even then, when there is different opinions, or when there is something at your heart that nobody opines, that nobody gives the opinion of, still the azm, the resolve is going to be of the Amir, the one who is seeking the counsel. This is the basis of strong method and system of government that Islam has given. That there should be counsel, that counsel should depute the deciding capacity, the decision capability to one person who will be called the Amir or the ruler. That ruler should continuously in all matters keep on seeking counsel from people, but he should be the ultimate decider. And he is not forced by majority or minority. If a lot of people give one counsel and only one or two people, and this is the example of the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ and the Khulafai Rashideen, that they would seek counsel, sometimes 50 people would be saying one thing and 2 people would be saying something else. They would take the counsel of those 2 things and decide according to that. Sometimes nobody would opine about that, but they had something in their heart. They would seek counsel, but they will still think that whatever I have in my mind is the best for the ummah, they will do that. This is proven from the example of the Sahaba, this is proven from the example of the Prophet ﷺ himself. There's concrete examples written, the names of Sahaba are mentioned in the Tafsir, but anyway, it will suffice it to say that the person who's seeking the counsel is not bound by majority or minority. they can do what they want, but they have to seek counsel. فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. When you have resolved upon something, then rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَوَكِّلِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the people who rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here, another hint is that tawakkul is after having adopted means. Because mashwara, seeking counsel from people, is also a source of, is a way of, is a form of means, achieving means. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, first take counsel, use the means, then resolve and rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So tawakkul does not mean that we should do whatever comes in our heart and mind and not take counsel and not look at the worldly things or the means around us, but those are important. After we have resolved, after counsel and after keeping into consideration everything, then when we have resolved something, we should rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is tawakkul, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves mutawakkilin, those who do tawakkul. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, salatu wassalamu ala sayyidil mursaleen. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa lam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. Allahumma ij'alna min ahli al-Qur'an alladhi ahluka wa khassatuhu. Sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqihi sayyidina wa mawlana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amin bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.